Hello, my name is Leonard Deshen, a Master of IT student at Virginia Tech. Today, I'd like to talk about overview of software project management concepts. The content of this presentation is based on Software Engineering, a Practitioner's Approach by Roger S. Pressman. Images used here are from Google image search results. Software project management involves the planning, monitoring and control of the people, processes and events that occur as software evolves from a preliminary concept to full operational deployment. It is an umbrella activity occurring throughout the framework activities and initiated before any technical activity. Myla Page Jones said, "I've visited dozens of commercial shops, both good and bad, and I've observed scores of IT managers, again, both good and bad. Too often, I've watched in horror as these managers futilely struggled through nightmarish projects, squirmed under impossible deadlines, or delivered systems that outraged their users and went on to devour huge chunks of maintenance time." This summarizes the effect of weak software project management. There are, however, management concepts that help achieve successful software projects. Before we continue, pause for 10 seconds and mention the 5 framework activities. If you said communication, planning, modeling, construction and deployment, you are right. These run through all software projects, but should be adapted for each project based on the stakeholders, complexity and available resources. That's practitioners, budget, time and others. Now let's talk about the concepts. The success of a project is a factor of how skilled its people are. It also depends on how they are organized and coordinated for efficiency. The people on a project may belong to the following categories. Senior managers determine business-related issues of the software project, including its existence. Project managers plan, organize, and control the project. They also motivate its practitioners. Practitioners provide the technical skills needed to move the software from concept to product. Customers specify and approve the software requirements together with other stakeholders. And end users interact with or use the final software product. The process is an adaptation of the framework activities and should be appropriate for the practitioners and the project. The product and process should be melded by first defining all the product functions and passing each one through the adapted framework activities. Then the process must be decomposed by asking for each activity, how do we accomplish this framework activity? The answer gives detailed breakdown of the process needed to execute that functionality. Now pause and consider people, process and politics. Arrange them in an order of most to least significant to the success of a software project. I'll give you 10 seconds to do this. If you said politics, people and process, I agree with you. People are more important than processes, but no matter how skilled the people are and suitable the process is, the organizational politics will determine how effectively the resources are utilized. Interestingly, people determine politics. So people have the greatest overall effect on any software project. The scope and requirements of the product must be determined and understood through early communication with the customers and stakeholders. If this is not done, a possibly beautiful software will be written, but unable to solve the problem at hand. The problem will also have to be decomposed into smaller modules to enhance understanding, implementation, and overall quality of software. The project must be planned. Time and effort required to accomplish it must be defined. The work product, quality checkpoints, monitoring, and control mechanisms should be defined by the project plan. We've so far looked at the 4 P's: people, process, project, and product. These are important aspects of software project management, and keen attention should be given them to achieve successful software projects. The order here also indicates their significance to the success of the project. Track software quality by testing the following throughout development. For maintainability, test the ease with which the software can be corrected, enhanced, or adapted if its environment changes. For correctness, how much the software meets its requirements. For integrity, how well the software is able to withstand both accidental and deliberate attacks. And for usability, how easy it is to use the software. Measurement and metrics are the basis for management decision-making and project tracking. Process measurement includes cost and effort, while product measurement includes lines of code, execution speed, memory usage, and defects measured over a defined time period. Indirect measures of the product include functionality, quality, complexity, efficiency, reliability, maintainability, and others. Software process metrics are used for strategic purposes, while project metrics are used for tactical purposes. Because many factors affect software project metrics, it shouldn't be used to compare individual practitioners, unless all affecting factors are reasonably equal. A direct approach of estimation estimates size in lines of code. An indirect approach uses function points to estimate size. Scheduling should determine how much time the project will take, effort needed, what and how many people are required, and the tools needed. Using estimation and scheduling together as a reference, each process step's use of resources can be tracked and then controlled. Risks should be identified, and for each risk, get probability of occurrence, impact, which is overall cost, and exposure, which is a product of productivity and impact. If risk exposure is greater than project cost, project viability should be reevaluated. Risk exposure should also be factored into project cost. For risk mitigation and management, first find the root cause, then address what's in your control. Assume it can still happen, and finally prepare to contain it if it happens. Risk monitoring is done throughout the project with the aim of checking if risk actually occurs, ensure risk prevention steps are adhered to, and collect information for future risk analysis. To conclude, a software project is successful if its software product is delivered on time, within budget, and at a high quality. The success of a software project is largely dependent on how the project is managed. Hence, proper application of software project management concepts is very essential. Thank you.